Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe Archino back here. In this weekend, a match that has incredible title implications for Italian Serie A, Juventus against Napoli. Now, obviously, you can probably already tell that this is a segment to make the pick for this weekend's gigantic clash between the two football giants. And by the mark of the jersey, you can kind of already see I'm going with Juventus. Now, I've done a bunch of segments on this matchup this weekend during the week, and I've always really been pretty adamant feeling Juventus. Just the way that they've continued to ascend and climb 14 Serie A matches in a row they have won. You know, that is a club record for them. I think they make it 15. Now, big news this week that Giorgio Chiellini is going to be absent from this matchup, which is a very significant loss for Juventus. But what separates Juve from Napoli, I think, to me at this point, is the depth. The overall depth of Juventus, to me, is too much to handle for Napoli. Now, Napoli really has not skipped a beat. Gonzalo Higuain is the leading scorer in the league. He has not really had a dull moment this season. Every single match, he's basically been able to muster up a goal somehow, which begs the question, can Juve's defense stop him from scoring? And if we do see it happen, this is going to be the time for it, because there's really not a better defensive unit than Juventus in Serie A. I mean, the Italian football is very world-renowned for the way that they play tactically from a defensive standpoint. It is very difficult from other clubs around the world to make adjustments to Italian defenses, but in this matchup, two of the best there are in Serie A, and Napoli does have the go-ahead right now. Again, they did beat Juventus early in the season, but, things changed dramatically. Juventus started the season 0-2 for the first time in 87 years of Serie A history, but, now they have broken another record on a positive note with their 14-match winning streak, and I do think that they make it 15. Will they stop Higuain from scoring? I do think that they will. I think Juventus wins this match 1-0. If you look at the last couple matches that they've played, for the most part, they haven't been the prettiest. Against Frosinone, they entered the half with 0-0. Against Genoa the week before that, they get an own goal late in the game to secure the victory. So, Juventus has won their last two, and they've been playing a lot of matches. They have a huge Champions League match coming up against Bayern Munich. I mean, that is the inherent difference between Juventus and the other sides in Serie A. They have so many important competitions that they're a part of, and I don't think that's going to really come into play here, but as you move further and further, the biggest thing to take away from this is I do think the winner of this match this weekend will win the league and will win the title, but Juventus still has so many other competitions that they're still, like the Champions League, where they still really have to put so much into. And sometimes that puts a little added pressure on you. Sometimes that makes you have a little bit more wear and tear on you when you're playing so many more matches. But I really have a ton of faith in Massimiliano Allegri, the way he manages this club. He's done a really phenomenal job. I mean, so much pressure on him this season with the way that they started things off. But he really has gotten this club to where they want to be. I mean, Paulo Dybala, again, he's one of the X factors why I think Juventus will win this game. Is one of such a lethal player. He's created the most chances in Serie A for his teammates, and he has also scored the second most amount of goals in Serie A, right behind Higuain. That's such a threat and such a dual capability there, because he has the ability to score, and you always have to be aware of that. But at the same time, he's always looking to create those chances for his teammates to get them going instead of himself. That is the kind of player that gives defenses nightmares to game plan for, because they can hurt you anyway. You have to commit to the respect that they're going to score, but you also have to be wary that they're just waiting to try to create an opportunity for their teammates. We've seen Alvaro Morata get going a little bit. We've seen the counterattack of Juve really translate flawlessly into offense for them. I think Juve gets this one 1-0, and they will end up winning the Scudetto again this season for a fifth straight time. It was incredible to think about, but especially with the way things have started. the ultimate X factor, as they often are in matches, is where do you get better goaltending? Gianluigi Buffon is the best in the world. He still is the ageless wonder, and I think in this matchup, he's going to be so sharp, and really with that defense in front of him, it helps tremendously. It's just Juve has found their confidence. Sometimes it takes you a little bit of time. They started the season without some key players, with some injuries, and they've really found themselves, have solidified themselves. Even without the key loss of Chiellini, I do think that they find this one and they get the 1-0 win. Now, it'll still be neck and neck to the end, really, both these clubs. What's going to hurt them moving forward is, do any of them have a slip-up against the club that they shouldn't? For the most part, these two clubs, since the early troubles have gotten out of the way for Juve, take care of business against who they're supposed to. They really don't have any hiccup matches against the lower clubs like a Bologna, like the Frosinones in Serie A. But for the most part, moving forward, I don't think you're going to see that too many. Maybe one of them does, because I think Juve would be able to handle this a little bit better than a Napoli defeat would. I think Napoli losing to Juventus, who it's so demoralizing, because this club has owned the league for, it seems, forever, and it just had such a firm grasp over everything. A lot of Italian sides are very weary of them still, going back to the match fixing scandal a couple of years ago. Everyone is still very weary of Juventus, and I think a loss to Juve here would be so demoralizing to them. But this is a very fired up side, and they're going to keep it competitive. It will still be tight at the top, but I think Juve gets the win here against Napoli, and Juve ends up winning another Scudetto. We will certainly see, though, what happens on Saturday. Really looking forward to this one, but you can tell by the jersey the pick has been made, taking Juventus over Napoli 1-0 until the Monday to see what happens. Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino, on Instagram Jersey_Joe_Archino, and we'll see everybody next time.